Berlin, April 20th, 1945. Above ground, the spring air is thick with the acrid scent of pulverized brick and cordite. But 50 feet beneath the old Reich chancellery, the air is recycled, stale, and carries the faint metallic tang of damp concrete. Today is Adolf Hitler's 56th birthday. In the Führerbunker, a small reception is held. It is a ghost of a celebration. There is champagne, but it tastes of ash. Outside, the Soviet First Belarusian Front has just commenced its final birthday present, a massive artillery barrage that shakes the very foundations of the Führer's subterranean fortress. This is the beginning of the end. The Götterdämmerung, the twilight of the gods, has transitioned from Wagnerian myth into a claustrophobic reality. Weeks earlier, Hitler issued the Nero Decree. It is a scorched earth policy born of a nihilistic philosophy. If the German people cannot win, they do not deserve to survive. He orders the destruction of every bridge, every power plant, every waterworks. It is the ultimate reductio ad absurdum, a logical conclusion pushed to an absurd, self-destructive extreme. One man stands in his way, Albert Speer, the Minister of Armaments. In these final days, the tension between the architect and his patron reaches a breaking point. Speer traverses the crumbling Reich, secretly countermanding the orders. In the bunker, Hitler stares at maps of cities that no longer exist, commanding armies that have dissolved into the smoke of the Eastern Front. To understand the end, one must understand the space. The Führerbunker is a masterpiece of claustrophobia. It is divided into two levels, the older Führerbunker and the deeper Hauptbunker. Time here is meaningless. There is no sunlight, only the flickering of electric lamps and the endless drone of the ventilation system. The smell is an inescapable cocktail of sweat, expensive perfume from the women of the inner circle, and the ether used to treat the Führer's tremors. Hitler has become a subterranean shadow. His spine is curved. His left hand shakes uncontrollably. He lives in a state of post hoc ergo propter hoc, the fallacy that his past successes must dictate a future miracle. He waits for the 12th Army, for Wenck's forces to break the siege. But Wenck is not coming. April 23rd. A telegram arrives from Berchtesgaden. Hermann Göring, the successor designate, asks if he should take over leadership of the Reich. To Hitler, it is crimen laesae majestatis, the crime of injured majesty. High treason. A sudden sharp shout. The walls are closing in. Then comes the ultimate blow. Heinrich Himmler, the loyal Heinrich, is discovered attempting to negotiate a surrender. The betrayal shatters Hitler's remaining grip on reality. The Soviets are now only blocks away, fighting street by street, room by room, through the Tiergarten. In the early morning hours of April 29th, Hitler marries Eva Braun in a surreal civil ceremony. Small talk, wine, and then the dictation of his final testament. April 30th, 2:30 p.m. Hitler eats his final meal, spaghetti with a light sauce. He bids a silent farewell to his staff. At approximately 3:30 p.m., the man who dreamed of a 1,000-year Reich ends his life with a single 7.65-meter bullet to the temple. Eva Braun sits beside him, having consumed cyanide. The silence in the room is a stark contrast to the inferno raging 40 feet above their heads. Following his strictest orders, the bodies are carried up to the Chancellery Garden, placed in a shell crater, and doused with 200 liters of gasoline. As the Soviet shells rain down, the remains are consumed by fire. By the time the Red Army reaches the bunker, there is nothing left but charred bone and the smell of petrol. The concrete coffin becomes a tomb, not just for a man, but for a twisted ideology. The war in Europe would end 8 days later. But here, the fire simply goes out. The 1,000-year Reich lasted only 12 years. In the end, there was only silence.